colleagues. Thanks for the invite. So this is Ömer BULAKCI. I am the 5GPP Architecture Working Group Chairman. And today, basically, I will give you a presentation on our latest white paper with the title 5G Architecture Evolution, a European Perspective. Let's start. So the content of the presentation, first of all, we will have a look to the Architecture Working Group scope. It will be followed by the white paper version 4.0 and the key highlights of the white paper. And in the last part, we will have a look to the look at the architectural extensions toward 6G and that some further steps on top of the work that we have done already in the fourth version of the white paper. So the Architecture Working Group, it is one of the working groups as part of the 5GPP initiative. We bring the 5GPP projects, the European projects, together to attain a European view on the overall architecture and the network domains. And by doing so, we are providing a consolidated view on the technical directions and concepts for the architecture design for 5G and also in the recent years with a particular focus on the beyond 5G networks. So it's kind of like a one-stop shopping, so to say, where you can see the key highlights, architectural highlights from the European projects. So what we do, we periodically release white papers that we summarize state-of-the-art architecture solutions stemming from the 5GPP projects. And we also organize international webinars and workshops where we present the key highlights from the white paper and the Architecture Working Group. So far, we have worked on 4 versions of the white papers. We have released 4 versions. The first version we released in 2016, which set the foundation for the 5G system and the novel trends and enablers. The second version, as the project progressed, we worked on the key architectural findings and overall architectural definition that we presented in the second version of our white paper. The third version that we released in 2020, it was about the architectural enhancements and what we call the verticals enabled architecture. And the fourth version that we released in 2021 has focused on the consolidation of the large scale trials and the further verticals integration that we will also present today. The details of the white papers, you can find them under the 5GPP website. The white paper 4.0, so we, as mentioned, we are consolidating output of different European projects. And in the preparation of the white paper, 42 projects have participated. We have looked into the different network domains like radio edge, core transport. We have basically a dedicated chapter on automated management orchestration, as the cross-domain aspects have been particular emphasis. We had a dedicated chapter on the cross-domain aspects. The outcome of some example trials has been captured under Chapter 7, Architecture, Instantiation, and Validation. And all these, basically, the extensions on network domain-based extensions have been consolidated into an overall architecture that we presented in Chapter 2. We have also highlighted presented the key outcome in a 2-part event, one hosted by the 5GPP and the other one in the IEEE 5G World Forum, where you can find further details. So what is the focus of the white paper 4.0? So there are 4 key elements: the integration of the verticals and the use of the data collection, aggregation, and the use of the AI ML techniques. The edge extensions, like that we will show some examples on the edge, for instance, for the vehicle-to-X communications, and automated management and orchestration. These were some key highlights from the white paper. So here we see the enhanced, what we call 5G enhanced overall system architecture. So we have looked into basically the features, extensions in the network domains, and management orchestration, including the control loops, support of the control loops, multi-access edge computing with ORAN extensions, radio access network, core network. This is from the network domain side. On the infrastructure domain side, we have also considered further extensions, just like satellite as a backhaul. And one particular focus was on the service layer and integration of the verticals, where you see here slice-specific realizations, where we use slices basically to deploy the vertical-specific network functions. So group of key highlights. So one group of highlights is the verticals and the network, as mentioned. So deep integration of the verticals into the architecture, considering the requirements such as coverage, guaranteed quality of service, customization, including the network functions provided by the verticals, for more network control, the service layer, the service level agreements and the monitoring of the SLAs, and end user data protection. These were some key requirements from the verticals. So how the integration of the vertical service network functions was done was, first of all, the notion of the net apps. This is something that we, for the first time, we captured in our white papers. The net app comprises all 5G network empowered applications that build the network service, and we use slices basically to deploy the net apps and the vertical specific extensions and the vertical specific network functions, including network domains, and possibly orchestrated over different clouds. The service layer provides a common interface towards the management and operation of the network, such as the monitoring of the SLA, and then it also enables the interaction between the service intelligence and the underlying network, such as the exposure mechanisms. One interesting notion that was captured in the white paper is the 5G as a service API in the service layer. So tailored instance of network slices. One group of extensions has been under the non-public network, also known as the private network. So here, NPN basically provides dedicated 5G network services for organization of group of organizations that are deployed under the premises of the organization. It can be a factory or campus, and there were some extensions like the mobility among NPNs. Second group of highlights is for beyond 5G enablers. Various concepts have been considered here for specific domains, like here the architecture. One example here is the configurable intelligence services that can be used for broadcast. There were considerations for machine learning, integration of machine learning and AI that can be also used for, particularly used for resource sequestration and also for the risk optimization. Localization technologies for Industry 4.0, as an example, integration of light fidelity and optical camera solutions, and enhanced vehicle localization solutions based on sensor fusion, where we make use of LiDAR, radar, and camera in addition to the vehicle-to-X communications. Novel radio access technologies included drone-based access and the seamless integration of Wi-Fi and light fidelity into the system, and edge computing for connected and automated mobility. Here we had considerations on the cross-border mobility and how to ensure cross-MEC service and session continuity, as highlighted in this picture. Network softwarization and evolution, of course, has been another highlight. The new applications and trials, so one group of highlights, so customization of the network architecture towards specific services, vertical specific extensions to support applications. The new use cases included multimedia production, as an example for local 5G NPN here, integration of the drones. The large-scale instantiations, architecture validation included the testing as a service, paradigm experiments with verticals, and as you can see in this example, basically multi-slice vehicle to XUE, one with MEC and one without, depending on the latency constraints. So the key architectural extensions towards 6G, so we have captured in the white paper innovations in service domain for verticals, like the notion of net apps. The extensions in network domains like RAN edge transport, cross-deployment aspects are captured. Infrastructure domain includes like drone-based access, also integration of satellite for backhaul that can be further extended with NTN towards 6G. The native support for network automation at AI/ML, particular focus was on automate management orchestration, supporting closed control and AI integration. Adoption of service-based architecture possibly toward the RAN. Extension for private networks, as mentioned, for mobility, and going beyond key performance indicators and including key value indicators to represent the impacts like sustainability, digital inclusion, and trustworthiness. Last but not least, please stay tuned. Next paper will be on Beyond 5G and 6G in 2022, and our next workshop will be in Globcom, as you can see. With this, I'd like to thank you for your attention and wish you a fruitful, nice event today.